Okay, this is part 2 of Theory U, so let's get into it. So we just went over the diagram, put all the names down, and we're going to explain a little bit more, or I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about what it is. So Theory U, again, is an inner knowing and social innovation method. Change management. It's involved a social process involving a few or many coworkers, managers, and or policymakers proceeding from diagnosis of the present state of the organization, plans for the future. So basically how I'm applying this to the course is I'm taking the management system that they put in place, the management method I should say, they put in place when they're trying to change the direction of an organization, and I'm applying that to ourselves. Now there's 7 stages, 7 stages of this. So whenever we move down this side of the left side, what that is doing is basically connecting us to the world that is outside of our institutional habitat or bubbles. Basically what that's doing is allowing us to notice how things came to be. And that is going to be applied through evolution, development, cognition, and emotion. And then at the bottom, where it says presencing, connecting to source, we're connecting ourselves to the world that emerges from within. So that goes along with open will, why is myself, what is my work? That's the part where the second part of it, where you're really knowing who you are and what you want to do in the world. Very important. Then to the right side, the final part, where it's going to be talking about bringing forth the new into the world. So once you have all the information about how things are, who you are and who you want to be and where you want to go, then the right side of the U is applying those things that you learned. And this isn't just valuable information for personal development, it's also good for leadership capabilities and capacities. So, for example, holding the space. So listening to what life calls you to do. Listen to yourself, to others, and make sure that there is space where people can talk. That's what I'm doing at the course, where I'm allowing you guys to talk to each other, and me talking to you, giving you feedback. Number 2, observing. Attend with your mind wide open. Observe without your voice of judgment, basically meaning to get rid of past cognitive schema. Basically everything that you know about psychology, you kind of have to put that on the sidelines for now in order to open your mind to new ideas. Sensing. Connect with your heart, facilitate the opening process. So it really is a empathetic, a very emotional journey whenever you're trying to think about how you can change your life, and you have to open up that part of you that is more accepting, you have more heart in it, you have more of a passion or a why as to why you're doing this. Then on to presencing, where you're going to connect to the deepest source of yourself and will and act from the emerging whole. So what that means is that you're going to be really understanding yourself. It goes a little bit beyond heart, where your heart is your passions and everything, what you believe in. And then presencing is who you are at your core, how you describe yourself in what you do and what you want to do. And then crystallizing, access the power of intention. Intention is very key in this. With the right or wrong intentions, you can go completely different paths. So make sure to find a very small group of key people committed to the purpose and outcomes of the project, and that's what we're doing here. A very small group of people that are going to be focused on supporting each other and figuring out a way. And then prototyping. Integrating head, heart, and hand. So basically this means that you should act and not let various sources of paralysis like reactive action or too much analysis interfere. So whenever you're trying to put in place these ideas, these new ideas that we're going to give you, you have to not let the inner demons inside of us kind of block that from happening. And then finally, performing. where we're playing the symbolical macro violin. And whenever you're in a leadership position and you get to this point, this means that you're finding the right leaders, finding good social technology to get a multi-stakeholder project going. But in this, it means that you're going to be finally implementing everything and taking it out into the real world, into everyday life. It's a lifestyle change, so you're going to be taking out these ideas, taking them out, and applying them every day. So the 7 stages consist of observation. Number 1, observation of phenomena, how do processes and workflows function, instruments, resources. 2 is the imaginative level social subsystem part of it, where you're forming a picture how the organization, or in this case, how you work, understanding the social subsystems and how functions, roles, and management are distributed. So what roles are you doing in life, and how is your social system, subsystem, working in your benefit and against you? Number 3, inspirational level, the cultural subsystem. Understanding the implicit and actual values, rules, and policies that shape the organization. So your morals and what you believe in. Trying to write those ideas down of what you believe in and how and why things happen in your life. How and why are it's difficult to understand how and why sometimes, but what I find is very useful is to keep asking why. So, for example, we eat food, everyone eats food. Why? Well, we eat food so we're not hungry. Well, why do we need to not be hungry? Well, we have to survive and we have to live. And that's kind of a fear that comes down to fear of death, the fear of the unknown. We'll get into that in the future as well. And then number 4, asking yourself, is this what we want? So presencing, really just understanding, is this really what you want? The intent. And then number 5, what values and guidelines do we want for the future? So taking what you know about yourself now, what you know about your surroundings, what you know about being a human in general, you're going to be applying that to what new values and guidelines of your life do you want? And number 6, what does that mean for new functions and roles? How is that going to affect your life in the roles that you play in work, in your relationship possibly, or in your family, in your every role? How can number 7, how can processes be developed in the future? And what phenomena and facts will characterize the organization, or aka you, of the future? So this course is going to give you the tools to making a system for yourself that works. And that's going to help you in the future when you have phenomena and facts or phenomena that are happening and you want to change that. There's always going to be new goals and dreams you have in life, and it's really good to have a system going that helps you gear towards that or change in that general direction of where you want to go. So yeah, that's Theory U in a nutshell. See you in the next video.